Hi, and welcome back to the gwEm. So I want to talk about a recent jam that I did on the channel that you've probably already seen, which is a piano rave jam that I did using a Alesis MMT-8 sequencer and a Roland JV-1010 sound module. The JV-1010 is the little brother of the famous JV-1080 and JV-2080 synths, and actually it has nearly all the sound engine of those synths built in. Unfortunately, you can't do very much with it because everything is hidden behind a front panel which doesn't give you a great deal of control. But using a MIDI editor, you can access the full power of the synth. So let's get into it. Now for the jam, all the sounds were coming from this Roland JV-1010, which is a small half-rack MIDI sound module. So let's talk about how that is being sequenced. Basically the MIDI notes are all coming from the MMT-8, but I'm also using a software-based editor called Patchbase, which is running on the laptop, which allows me to tweak the sounds because there's no real control panel on the JV-1010. Well, it's just a very simple one anyway. So MIDI from the laptop and the MMT-8 is being merged by this rather cool looking pink merge box and goes to the MIDI in of the JV-1010. The MIDI output of the JV-1010 is going into the laptop for the editor. Now the audio setup is a little bit interesting. Since I'm only using the JV-1010 as the main sound source, I could have come out of this and straight into the compressor. But actually what I've done is to go through the Mackie mixer, which makes it a bit easier for doing this recording, and I was also doing a live stream on Twitch as well. So the output of the JV-1010 goes into channel 7 and 8 on the Mackie mixer. The output of the Mackie mixer goes through these white audio cables into the compressor. And then the output of the compressor goes into the 2-track input of the Mackie mixer, and then I've got the control room and headphone output listening only to the 2-track, which means that I can record and monitor the 2-track output from the mixer, which is brilliant for doing these videos and also pretty handy for Twitch as well. Let's talk about the sequences on the MMT-8. I do have to run a program change on the JV-1010. The reason is when you switch it on, it's a bit annoying, but you can't change which performance or which set of patches, if you like, that you're listening to. That's a bit of a problem for being able to play back your song. So you need to do a MIDI patch change, and I've got a separate track for that in the MMT-8. So I run that, and then that does a patch change on the JV-1010. Okay. Now on the next I have the jam itself. So track 1 is the kick drum. That is from the patch kick menu. Track 2 is some drum sounds which come from TR-909 kit. And it's had some of the JV-1010 built-in reverb added. Track 3 is ride cymbal and a high Q. And that's with the same 909 kit. Then the upper channels of the pattern on the MMT-8 have various tuned instruments. So track 5 is a solid bass preset. And that is from the techno card, and it sounds very close to Yamaha solid bass. Actually, it even has the quantization noise. You can hear it quite prominently. That string sound is a preset called Octopad. And then on track 7 I have the main piano riff, which is using a preset called Compressed Piano. I really love the sound of that piano. It's a little different from the typical M1 piano that I was kind of tempted to use for this track, but it sounds very dancey and very 90s. And then on the last channel I have a little acid riff. Actually, the JV-1010 has dozens and dozens of acid presets, and I didn't like any of them. So that one was one that I wrote on the laptop myself, just using a sawtooth wave and a filter, and I think it works quite well. The delay is being provided by one of the effects engines on the JV-1010. So altogether, I'm muting all the tracks. It sounds like this. Now, as I said, everything is being sent through this compressor, so I will turn it off and on again, and you can hear the difference. So this is with the compressor off. And now with it on. And now toggling. It just livens it up a bit having that that compressor turned on. Well, it really is amazing what that JV-1010 can do. It's quite affordable. You can pick one up for about 150 quid on eBay. And it has nearly all the sound engine of a JV-1080 or a JV-2080. If you use an external patch editor like I was using Patchbase, then you can really access the entire sound engine and get pretty much any sound you want out of it. I hope you'll consider liking the video and maybe even subscribing to my channel. That would be fantastic. Thanks a lot, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Take care.